O mankind, I am Michael, Prince of the Archangels, and I come to you this night in memory of the solemn and beautiful perfection of the faith. Your faith is your security, and born out of your faith descends to this planetary body that infinite spark of the cosmic fire, which holds within it the cosmic regenerative seed that shall bring about the fruition of universal purpose upon this planetary body. How wonderful to behold the fruit of God endeavor. How wonderful to behold the fruit of faith. What a mountain of strength this is to the individual. And how beautiful does this distribute the strands of perfection throughout the cosmos. Ladies and gentlemen, in this hour of universal reality, in this dream which God has created that you call your life, recognize the need to keep the faith and thus make your life sublime in that design which God himself envisioned and which is held locked within the seed of perfection within your soul. How beautiful then is the faith, and how beautiful is the keeping thereof. I am aware even now of moments of loneliness, moments of separation, moments of self-pity, moments of despair, moments of confusion, moments of world chaos, moments of destruction, and all that seems to perish in the human consciousness. I am aware how mankind become involved in all manner of disturbing conditions. But are they aware that the lowering of their vibratory action, their fatigues, and those conditions which are indeed inherent within their body during moments of stress and strain are very apt to cause the mind itself to also bend in that circle of warp and disturbed condition, which produces in their world, if they allow it to do so, a feeling of neglect and a feeling of aloneness, a feeling of separation, and a feeling that they are indeed separated by their personality from God himself. How beautiful are the feet of them which preach the gospel of peace. Will you understand then that I tonight wish to make an end to all that? Do you? Then so do I. I would like to see you so staunch and so beautiful in your inner concept of keeping the faith that you will not be disturbed by outer conditions at all. But if perchance some of you momentarily are moved by outer conditions, will you learn the sacred ritual of return, whereby you can quickly establish in the soul those communications of the beautiful ideals that you have felt in those sublime moments of your life? Understand, O humanity, that the faith is a gift of God. Understand that I ensoul that faith. I am that faith, and I hold for you the power to keep that faith in all conditions of stress and strain. I hold also for all mankind the radiance and perfection of being victorious. But will you recognize, dear hearts of light, that your own beloved I Am presence also holds that confidence for you? And if perchance God, throughout the centuries, in his great release of cosmic faith to mankind, has not always succeeded in the sense that a part of the endeavor was mankind's in producing that faith which men desire to wear, then don't you think that a mere archangel might also, if you have doubts and insist on holding those doubts, be unable to erase them unless by your free will you would let me in to occupy your mind momentarily, and your heart, and your feeling world. For then, as I came in to that secret chamber of the heart, I would carry with me that communion flame. I would carry with me that perfection as a real regeneration that is within my heart permanently. And I would give you energy. I would give you faith. I would give you strength. For this is that which I am. Do you understand the magnificence of actually being faith yourself? Do you understand what it means to hold the faith within your heart in the face of every outer condition? Do you realize and recognize that there is a two-way street, as some of you call it, in your divine relationships? It is not enough to totally depend upon us and then deny the seed of God intent within yourself. For as you create that necessary polarity within the force field of your heart, lo, it will make our ingress so much easier. We can come in, and we can sup with you, and we can release our power, simply because you will it so. For God and all of us already will it so. Do you understand then that as heaven wills it so, it but remains for embodied humanity to also will it so? Then when there is a meeting of these twain polarities, our radiation representing a positive power of absolute good, and your radiation being a lesser potential of the same manifestation, yet bearing the negative connotation simply because it is a lesser quantity of the holy perfection of God. Do not be dismayed, beloved hearts of light, simply because you have a lesser potential in manifestation. After all, within your own hearts, within the divine seed, there is an equal manifestation of perfection. Will you also consider that through this drop in potential, we are able to radiate and create those magnificent waveforms which convey faith to you as though it were literally showering upon your life in cosmic buckets? Do you understand the meaning of a cosmic bucket? Well, it is borrowed from your own thoughts and your own words. For you yourselves recognize how that fire brigades often pass a bucket of water from one hand to another. So do we at cosmic levels call upon divine energy to create itself in increments and then descend. There is a reason for this, and we want you to know that reason. It is because you require faith at every moment. And because if we showered all of the faith that we could muster at one particular moment, it would literally engulf you. It would literally knock you down off your feet. You would be unable to bear it, and I assure you of this. Thus we give it in increments. And through the seeds of faith, the beautiful mustard seed of faith grows to become a mustard tree in which the birds of the air may indeed nest. Will you understand this? Will you recognize that faith has the power of multiplication, that it can be a tiny mustard seed and then be an oak tree? Mankind have the tendency, actually, in their thought and feeling world, to limit the power of God, as though it could not increase more. Dear hearts, it is not that God could not give you more. It is simply that your requirement is not always all of God. And so when he portions to you a blessed portion of himself, it is a breaking of the bread of heaven. But that bread which is given to you, that bread which is dispensed to you, is the sacred fire. It is the Christ Eucharist. And when you receive it, it possesses the magnificent power of pulling together in your consciousness all things until all things come into a beautiful perspective of awareness. Individuals at a particular city within the United States or the Soviet Union or Israel or France or the islands of the sea, it matters not where, have a desire to be attuned with God. So he is there, and there is a connecting strand. Then there is also a connecting strand through that connecting strand with our heart and all of the hosts of heaven. Will you understand then that we are literally pulling for you, pulling you together, trying to draw you into a unity of the faith, whereby you will not be divided by every wind of doctrine? There is no question that over the years, certain individuals have acquired a momentum on certain spiritual ideas. When they have this momentum and they have this concept, beloved ones, it may be very dear to them, for it was acquired through many years of experience. It does not have to be right. Will you understand then that because individuals hold to that which they call the truth of themselves, they often find that that truth may differ from one individual, from one monadic expression to another. When this occurs, it need not be the means of propelling you to a separation, for after all, the same God created you and created you in love. The journey through the way, the truth, and the life is a journey of acquiring greater discrimination, greater awareness, greater understanding. When you all have that awareness, when you all have that understanding, when you are able to summon that perfection, of course it will remove imperfection. For the greater always contains the lesser, but the lesser does not always contain that specific of the greater, which may be denied it simply by reason of it having not fulfilled its experience range within one specific idea. If you will understand this, if you will take this into consideration, you will not have difficulty with those experiences that are separating in their ramifications. You will seek toward greater unity, not necessarily a unity of ideas, but a unity of spiritual experience. For you will combine your experiences into that sweet experience of living with God. When then this comes about, and you summon the fullness of your faith into manifestation, you will be able to climb up that cosmic ladder of light and understanding as easily as men and women get out of bed. I want you to understand that today humanity are in a distraught state from time to time, where world conditions penetrate their hearts and minds and cause them gross disturbances. I am an archangel. I have long ago escaped from the range of these pursuits, but I do have the understanding of the trembling and tremors that pass through mortal consciousness. Men are afraid, they know not why, and they often fear most of all their aloneness, their separation. The question is to whether or not they are pleasing unto others. We want you to understand that if you please your own universal presence, you need not fear what men shall do unto you, what they shall think of you, or how they shall inter your bones. I want you to understand they can never touch that glorious spirit spark that is the cosmic fire within you. Put all of your attention upon that, and take your attention away from the outer facets of human personality, and you will solve the bulk of your problems. If you persist in involving yourself in the rhythms of human personality, you may well find that dire experiences will come from time to you, and you will cry out, "O God, help me." Let me say unto you that the hosts of heaven are more ready to help you than you dare to imagine. I assure you that there are some of you in this room who say with your lips that you desire God to help you. But in reality, it is a basic insecurity in your own mind that causes you to say this, for it comes from a certain amount of hypocrisy. You are not always convinced of the fact that God is real. There are doubts and questionings within your mind and the range of that outer mind. Oh, beloved hearts, will you not let go of that feeling? Will you not replace it by a feeling of faith and understanding? If you will, I can promise you then that not only tonight, but throughout the span of your life, when you call upon me and ask my assistance, that assistance will come forth, providing you have made a reasonable conformation to those cosmic ideas which the Godhead has released in cosmic hieroglyph first, and then later into those writings which men refer to as the sacred bonds of the sacred word. I want you to understand that the word is already written within you. If you would adhere to that truth which is within you, you would have no needs to fear whatsoever. Fear and doubt comes from within mankind in the range of his mortal experiences. He has suffered various calamities throughout the range of those experiences. He has often come into realms and areas of doubt. And in those moments, because he doubted, he did not receive the necessary help from heaven that he should have had. And therefore, his doubt was reinforced. Don't individuals understand this simple law, that the more men do the will of God, the more men will do the will of God, the more men will desire to do the will of God, the more the will of God will come to be almost a gift of rote unto them, and they will find in due course of time that that rote will be accelerated by the most marvelous release from the heart of God of cosmic energy, the energy of joy. And the joy that Saint Germain referred to as the motor of life will become the means of a greater accomplishment in the life of all. Will you then understand this law and try to live it? Strive toward understanding. It is not difficult. For when men really, truly mean to understand, they will not then be so quick to criticize others and to turn toward others, recognizing that all criticism of others in this world is always, ultimately, a criticism of their own selves. For human propensities gather momentums, and these momentums multiply, and after a while, vast continents of individuals are pulled to the right or the left simply by the accumulation of man's energies. If individuals would understand that they can call upon heaven and find that heaven will respond, that the full range of those energies will come to their power, to their hand at the supreme moment that they may need it, they will then be able to overcome many things that they could not overcome of themselves. I am an archangel. I am certain that many embodied upon this planet that hear of me do not believe in me at all. I am certain also that even some who believe in me do not recognize the fact that they themselves are able to summon many of the same energies that I am able to summon. Yet I will intercede for those who cannot muster the faith, providing they will call upon me and recognize that in that call they are calling also upon God. For I am but his servant and an instrument of truth, albeit I have legions and legions and legions of angels under my command, angels of faith and captains of grace to humanity. I still carry with me that humble attitude of heart that is a gift of God. For by humility the strands of true love are drawn into the heart's chalice. By humility men understand how God can be drawn into their world. By humility the grace of God and the faith of God is multiplied again and again and again. You have in your hearts, beloved mankind, the full power to overcome all outer conditions. It is simply a matter of releasing yourselves from those tensions and feelings of inadequacy, of fear, of doubt, and a lack of the realities that heaven itself has bestowed upon you. It is true that there is a multiplication of these graces and gifts, but then that need not concern you. For if the law is real, and the law is, and if the law functions, and the law functions, then I want each of you to know and to understand that by the functions of that law, the smallest gift of faith can become the largest in the universe. Those of you who recall the incident wherein the Christ multiplied the loaves and the fishes will understand that this too was an act of faith, will understand that this too is an example to humanity that the power of God is able to multiply the power of faith. And so, when the statement, grace and peace and faith be multiplied unto you is given, let all understand that it is possible and available to them, for it lies within the domain of selfhood, which can expand and expand and expand until there is no room for aught but faith and the knowledge and confidence of accomplishment within the heart of all. You live in an age of doubt. You live in an age of terror. You live in an age of viciousness multiplied. Let us not then be concerned with that, but concerned with those powers that overcome these untoward conditions. For then the perfection of God descending upon your individualized hearts shall draw you not only closer to your own divinity, but closer unto me. And as you draw closer unto me, I will carry your beautiful energies to the heart of God. And the response will, I assure you, be a guaranteed response, a release of cosmic energy and a cosmic shower unto mankind, that fulfilling angel mandates and angel activities unto embodied humanity will draw all at last by those skeins of light to that state of consciousness where fear and its attendant manifestations will be overcome. The last enemy that shall be overcome is death. But then, if life comes, shall death be able to overcome it? For life is God, and God is victory, and God will victoriously manifest his victory in your heart, in your mind, in your being. I am Archangel Michael. I convey to you the felicitations of my faith, of the grace of God that lies within you, in the Christ consciousness, in the seeds of trust and obedience. Whenever conditions appear to you that are less than perfection, whenever they appear to you, do not understand just in your outer mind that these conditions can be removed by application, but understand in the fiber of your soul, in the fiber of your being, that God can heal the wounds of the world. God can heal the wounds of each individual. God can remove the thorns from your heart and replace them by the anointing oil of the Holy Spirit. God can provide comfort without limit. It is up to you to have the faith, for then nothing shall be impossible unto you.